They say a lie can cover tracks, but it can't erase footprints. Sarah Buzzard told detectives,
I just know that 1 minute Emma was there, and then the next he had just left.
Calm, collected, almost dismissive. The detective didn't argue. He just asked,
Do you find it odd that Ryan now is leaving for good? Right? He's leaving for good, and he would leave his car keys behind?
That one question cut straight through her story. This is cognitive dissonance theory at work. When someone tells a lie that doesn't align with reality, the pressure builds until the cracks show. Sarah thought her version would hold together if she kept it simple. Ryan left, and that was that. But the presence of his car, and her own admission she drove it, exposed the contradiction she couldn't explain away.
And there's major inconsistencies about this with your involvement with Ryan. And you know Ryan is now deceased.
He is?
He's been murdered.
But the pertinent questions are who this demonic woman is, what happened on September the 25th, 2015, and how detectives psychologically trap her with a perfect bait.
A Marion woman charged with a homicide that happened more than 5 years ago has been sentenced.
Welcome back to my channel. On Friday, September 25th, 2015, 21-year-old Ryan Zimmerman spoke with his father back in Kentucky for what would unknowingly be their final conversation. At that time, Ryan was living in Columbus, Ohio, sharing a home with 29-year-old Sarah Buzzard and her husband, Corey. Ryan had developed a relationship with Corey, a situation that pushed their household into jealousy and quiet hostility. By the end of September, the weather cooled further, and Ryan simply vanished. His car was found impounded 2 days later, yet no one could account for his movements. His father, troubled by the silence, officially reported him missing in November 2015. Winter arrived, and on a frigid January morning in 2016, near Grand Lake, St. Mary's State Park in Mercer County, skeletal remains were discovered scattered in the cold mud. The body had been dismembered, with the head and limbs missing, leaving investigators with only fragments and grim questions. The weathered bones lay unidentified for years, until June 2020, when DNA finally confirmed they belonged to Ryan Zimmerman. The trail led detectives back to Sarah Buzzard. So they arrested her and brought her in for interrogation, and today we will focus on the psychological elements of this interrogation.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
I'm Megan Baker. I'm with the Sheriff's Office in Ohio.
I'm Rick Ward.
Hello.
Hello, Sarah.
Well, I'm assuming you have lots of questions. Okay. And we're going to take some time to sit down with you here and maybe we can get some answers for those questions for you, if that's okay?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me before we get started here?
No.
Okay. I would just like to have a conversation with you and we can kind of explain a few things and go from there, if that's okay. But since we're in here, I want to make sure you're protected and we're protected as well. Part of our protocol, we're going to cover the Miranda rights, okay? And then we can have a conversation and hopefully answer some of those questions for you.
Okay.
Okay? All right. So
25th.
All right. Read, write, and speak English?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's your highest level of education?
A bachelor's degree.
Okay.
College.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So I'm just going to read this to you, and if you have any questions, stop me at any time, okay? And I'm going to initial next to it. If you just acknowledge after I read each line that you understand what I'm saying, okay? But nod of the head yes or whatnot, okay? It says, before we ask you any questions, you must understand your rights. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about that?
I don't really understand how the process works per se.
So if there's any time that you aren't sure, of a question or something like that, you can say, hey, I don't understand the question. We can try to reword it. If there's any time that you don't want to answer that question, you don't even have to answer that question.
Okay.
Okay. That goes along with the if you decide to answer questions now, without a lawyer present, you can, but you still have the right to stop at any time.
Okay.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're clear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just going to read the waiver portion here real quick. It says, I read this statement of my rights shown above and I understand what my rights are. I am willing to make a statement and answer questions. I do not want a lawyer at this time. I understand and know what I'm doing. No promises or threats have been made to me, and no pressure of any kind has been used against me. Does that sound accurate? I mean, we're not sitting here holding you down or anything like that, okay? Do you have any questions about that? I've read your rights to you. This is just acknowledging that we've read those to you. You understand them. If at any time you have any questions about those, feel free to ask.
Okay.
Okay? All right, just need your signature acknowledging that we read that. So we're here looking into the matter, obviously. And I'm sure you have some questions, but kind of let us explain some things first. And then if you do have questions, we'll be open to hopefully answer some of those.
Okay.
Okay. We're looking into a situation back when you lived in Columbus. Okay. And about what time frame did you live in Columbus? Because did you?
I went for college,
Okay.
so that would be 2010.
Okay.
And then I was there for a few years after I graduated. I want to say 2015, 2016, somewhere in that range.
Okay. And where did you live at when you were in Columbus?
I lived at a few different places.
Okay.
All of them were apartments.
Okay. And did you have a roommate?
My husband at the time.
Okay. And that would have been
His name was Corey.
Okay. And when did you get married? You said husband at the time?
After graduating high school.
Okay.
And before starting college.
Okay. And he moved there for college as well? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
From the outset, the detectives approached Sarah in a calm, non-confrontational manner, introducing themselves, explaining the process, and asking simple questions about her background. This tactic helped establish rapport and reduce her initial defensiveness.
And was there, you said in an apartment, I know sometimes going to college it can cause for some tough times with finances and things too. Did you ever bring any roommates in, anything like that?
At my very last apartment, we had I don't know if they were officially written on the lease, but they were a friend of Corey's.
Okay.
And they were there for a few months. I don't remember exactly how long. I didn't have much to do with them.
Okay. And who would the friend have been?
I don't remember what their real name was, but we referred to them as Emma.
Okay. Could it have been Ryan?
Possibly.
Okay. And that's a little bit about why we're here, is to talk about Emma, also known as Ryan Zimmerman. He went missing. Are you familiar with any of that?
No.
Okay. So I guess, tell me what you know about Ryan. Or Emma, if you know him as Emma.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a touchy subject. My husband at the time had sexual interests. They had talked online extensively, and he had invited them to come stay with us, which I did not want to happen, but long story short, it did. So they drove under the agreement that they would pay part of the rent, and within, I think I gave them 3 months, that they would find a job and find their own place, which did not happen. So Corey ended up asking him to leave, which he did, because I guess he found a new boyfriend or something, and just up and left one day, and we didn't hear anything from them again.
And you say them. Was there somebody else with Emma?
No.
And by them, you just mean Emma?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if it was plural, if there was more than...
Ryan wanted to start hormone therapy, but I was a little uncomfortable referring to them as she, so we just used the they, them pronouns.
Perfect. So you say that he was asked, or Emma was asked to leave. Who were you there for that conversation, or how did that go about?
I heard it secondhand. Corey had said that he was no longer comfortable having Ryan there.
Rather than confronting Sarah with the full weight of evidence at once, the detectives gradually revealed information about Ryan Zimmerman's disappearance and eventual death. This technique, often called gradual disclosure, is based on cognitive load theory.
And they had also not made an effort to find a job like I had requested.
Okay.
I can't quite remember, but I know that they had had a Corey and Ryan had a conversation either while I wasn't there or
Okay.
while I was
Sure.
not present. And Corey relayed to me that by some date later in the week that he had to leave.
Okay. And you say later in the week. Do you recall around about when that was? That conversation? You said
no, I
3
can't
months. You
remember.
gave him kind of 3 months, and he hadn't looked for a job. Do you recall when he got there? When Emma got there?
I can't remember. No.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Do you recall how long she was there?
No, I'm
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
That's
guessing it's
fine.
in that.
I'd rather you tell me you aren't sure and not make something up. Does that make sense? Okay. So you weren't there for the conversation of that, but were you there whenever Emma did leave?
Somewhat.
Okay, tell me more about that.
I know that they had tried to plead with me to give them another chance, but I said that I'd already given too many chances and that it was Corey's call ultimately. And I remember them packing, and either I went to the store or I was in a different room. I don't remember. I can't quite remember.
Who was all home at the time?
I was, Corey was not, and then my girlfriend was over. So we might have been in the living room. I honestly, I don't remember.
Okay.
I just know that 1 minute Emma was there, and then the next he had just left.
Okay. Did you see him leave? Like pull away in a vehicle or something?
Somebody pulled up, and he got in the car and drove off. I thought that he might come back because he did leave his car, but he didn't come back, and then we didn't hear from him again.
Do you happen to know who it would have been? I mean, did he make contacts there? He
said that he did find somebody else. I didn't get in much details with him, but he said that he met someone and had mentioned that he might move in with them, or at least see how things went. That's as far as I know.
The detectives often used open-ended questions such as, "Tell me what you know about Ryan," or "What do you remember about that day?" rather than leading questions.
Parked it like normal?
No, I parked it on the side, because like I said, I was embarrassed that I took the car without permission. So I parked it over at the side of the complex.
Was it within the complex, or was it like parked on the outside street?
No, it was within the complex.
Okay, so like your apartment, the like townhouses kind of like
Something like
connected,
that. Mhm.
right? Okay, so you parked it close enough to your apartment that you could walk, or was it around the block? Like, was it?
No, it was close enough that we could walk.
Okay, like a town block, or was it a half a mile away, or?
No, it was. So the townhouses were in rows.
Yes.
And the whole complex was surrounded by like a street block.
Yeah.
So I parked it on the street block. That was still part of the complex, but further off to the side.
Okay. But it was within the complex. Okay. So I guess when the tow truck or what have you dropped it there, took the keys in with you? Anything like that? I'm assuming you had to have the keys.
Yeah, I had the keys. I would assume I took them in with me. I don't actually remember though.
Okay. Had plates and everything on it. I mean, obviously, you probably wouldn't have drove it down the street if it didn't have the plates.
Right.
Okay. And so it was parked there. Had you driven it since then or after that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Did he come back to get it?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Do you know anything that happened to it then?
I know that it disappeared. I don't know what happened to it though. I know I went out to check on it again, and I didn't see that it was there.
Okay.
So I don't know if he came back to get it, if it happened while I was gone. I'm not sure.
Okay. And when it was parked like in painted lines, like on a pavement?
On the side of the street.
Okay.
So partially in the street, partially in the grass.
Okay. And you said you filled it up with gas, all that sort of thing. Okay. And you said your girlfriend was who at the time?
Naira.
Naira. Okay. Is that who you're currently married to? Okay. Does she go by Naira?
She likes to go by Jennifer.
Jennifer. Okay. Just want to try to be as appropriate as I can be, so I apologize if I'm misspeak or something of that sort. So, was she with you at the gas station?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you both get in the wrecker then?
Mm-hmm.
Do you recall what kind of wrecker or who you called?
No,
Or the color of the wrecker or anything like that?
White, maybe?
White. Okay. Did you have to pay them, I'm assuming? Cash, credit card or something?
Credit card.
Okay. So then it gets dropped off. You go home then? Or, okay. Do you ever have any contact with Ryan after he left?
Not at all.
Okay. Would you communicate with him even while he was staying there? Like through phone or anything like that?
Very rarely, no. I didn't have his number or email or anything like that.
Did he have a phone?
I believe so.
Whenever Sarah hesitated or admitted she couldn't remember certain details, the detectives subtly pressed for clarification, creating psychological tension.
Did you see him using one?
Not that I can recall. The only thing I do remember was, I think Corey let him borrow an old laptop.
Okay.
To communicate with his friends and family, I think.
Okay. Did he have a tablet or anything?
Not that I can recall.
Okay. Did you all kind of have your own computer, or did you?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Did you do a lot of work on a computer or like your phone or anything?
Probably on my laptop.
Okay. Who would all have access? I mean, I have my own personal Gmail and Facebook, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Who would all have access, I guess, to like your Gmail?
It should just be me.
You? Okay. Would Jen or Corey or no? And Jennifer wouldn't have any access?
She shouldn't know.
Okay. Okay. Does Jennifer have, I guess her own accounts then that she accesses? Okay. And you said you didn't communicate with Ryan really. It was more Corey bringing Ryan into the picture. I guess, how did that go whenever Ryan first got there? You said you weren't really on board for it.
Very awkward.
Okay, tell me more about awkward.
Well, I obviously didn't want him there in the first place, but Corey and I had argued about it extensively, so that's when I came up with the stipulation that Ryan could stay if he got a job.
Mm-hmm. But you said he didn't end up getting a job.
I don't know. No, he didn't. I know he tried to do some interviews, but I don't remember if he didn't get the jobs or if he just didn't go to the interviews. But I could see that he wasn't really making an effort.
Mm-hmm.
And he did pay his rent on time, but other than that, I tried to limit how much time I had with him.
Sure. Okay. And you made a comment earlier that it was discussed, and Corey kind of delivered it to Ryan that he needed to go.
Mm-hmm.
But you mentioned that he was pleading with you to give him another chance or what have you. Tell me more about that, the pleading.
I know that he was crying, and a lot of what he said didn't really make sense.
Okay. Tell me more about what he was saying.
Something about his family not being good enough. And I tried to be sympathetic and said, well, from what Corey told me, you didn't get any jobs. This was the stipulation.
Mm-hmm.
Detectives occasionally referenced sensitive topics, such as Ryan pleading for another chance or the tense dynamics in the household.
And I know I said I was sorry, but that Corey ultimately makes the call, and if he says that you need to go, I have to agree. And then I asked him if he had anywhere else to go, which was when he mentioned that there was someone else that he had met and was getting close to. So I said that, that he could try to contact him or go back home or something, but that he would have to leave whenever Corey said.
Did that get a little heated? I mean, when he didn't want to leave, obviously.
Not heated. Like our initial conversation, I was calm, he was upset, but after that, I guess he was more resigned.
Kind of kept to himself, or
there was no shouting or anything like that.
Didn't get physical?
No, not at all.
Okay, and was Jennifer around for that conversation?
No, she didn't want to have anything to do with him at all.
Okay, so she didn't step up and stand up with you on that
we
at all?
We had a private conversation. Ryan specifically wanted to just talk to me.
Okay. Why do you think that is?
Probably because I'm the most level-headed out of everybody.
Sure.
And I was kind of the middle ground, I guess.
Kind of the mediator in the whole bunch. Okay. How did Ryan and Jennifer get along? How was that?
Jennifer did not like him, but also did not want to have anything to do with him.
Okay.
So I would say she went out of her way to not be around him as much as possible.
Okay. You mentioned that you had driven in Ryan's car before. Did you have your own vehicle? Mm-hmm. What kind of vehicle did you have?
Yeah, it was around the time I might have still had my Corolla at the time.
Okay. So I guess, is there a reason you wouldn't have driven your own vehicle?
No, there's no reason.
Okay.
I just thought it would be fun.
To try somebody else's vehicle? Okay. So that would have been parked at your apartment or what have you. Did Corey have his own vehicle too? And
he didn't have a vehicle.
He didn't have
his license.
Oh, okay. So how would he get around?
I would either drop him off or he would take the bus.
Okay.
Throughout the interrogation, detectives repeated key points and summarized Sarah's statements to confirm understanding. This taps into confirmation bias theory, but in reverse. Instead of reinforcing her beliefs, it subtly exposed contradictions between her narrative and known facts.
Okay. Did he ever go meet up with other people to experiment as well, or to... Okay.
I didn't want to know about it, but I knew that there were local groups. He tried to get me involved once, and that was rather
too much for you. I'm assuming.
It's not a lifestyle that I was comfortable with.
Sorry about that. So, was there a time that you did know that he was going to meet up, and you went along or drove him there or anything like that?
Once, I think.
Tell me what you recall about that.
He was meeting a woman either at a train station or a bus station. Because I remember picking her up and dropping both of them off at a hotel and
Okay.
then going home.
Okay. So you dropped both of them off then?
Mhm.
Okay. And then you went home? Okay. Was it just you that dropped them off, or was anybody else with you?
Just me.
Okay. And they stayed there, I mean, without a vehicle then, or how did...
I would imagine so, unless...
Did you have to go
she
back and
rented
pick them up
something.
or anything like that?
They figured out their own way afterwards.
Okay, so you didn't have to go back and pick up Corey or anything like that. He knew his own way. Okay, so what did you do after you dropped him off?
I don't know. Watch TV, eat food, just the normal things.
Okay, and do you recall around that time frame who would have all been in the home yet?
At the... Jennifer would have been there. I don't remember if Ryan had left or not. It might have been after he left.
Okay. Okay. Do you converse with Corey still? I mean, no.
Not at all.
Okay. So obviously
Yes.
splitting, that was probably for the better on everybody's end.
After all of the relationship mishaps, it was mutual, us splitting.
Okay. So it was mutual, but was it pretty hasty towards the end? I mean, lots of arguments, things like that?
I don't know if I'd say hasty, but because it was kind of simmering under the surface for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ryan was just kind of the last straw for me.
Tell me more about that. Why was he the last straw?
That was probably one of the biggest arguments that we had. Was prior to Ryan coming. Corey had this ideology that a perfect relationship required 3 people. And the whole reason that he got in contact with Ryan was to make him that 3rd person. But I obviously didn't agree with that, and the entire time it made me feel like I wasn't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
The detectives often framed questions and protocols as routine and neutral, minimizing the perceived severity of the interrogation. This is rooted in normalization theory, which suggests that individuals are more likely to open up when a situation feels ordinary or procedural rather than extraordinary or threatening.
And most of the arguments revolved around me telling him all of that, and he wouldn't listen, wouldn't agree, wouldn't take my points, so I ended up conceding and with the stipulation.
And finally, kind of pushing forward and following through with one of your stipulations that finally it needed to come to an end. Okay. So was there ever a time, I mean, you know, if you'd have those arguments and things, would you come home to visit and just to get away from each other? I mean, would you come back to Marion to visit with Mom or anything?
Not by myself, no. The only time we would ever come back to Indiana would be for holidays.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. And would that be with you and Jennifer? Or
No, it was just Corey.
Corey and you? Okay. How would you get back to Marion? I know there's so many different routes to take.
I guess whatever my GPS took. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to that.
Okay, you just plug it in your phone kind of thing.
Just go.
Okay. Okay. So you're into art, correct? Was that one of your majors? Okay. And did you have your own studio, or would you go to work or anything, and it would just be Corey and Ryan, or Jen and Ryan, or anything like that?
At the time I think I was working at Barnes and Noble. If it was the last apartment, then it would be Barnes and Noble. So yes, there would be times when it would be either Corey and Ryan in the house, sometimes all three of them, sometimes just Jen and Ryan. I guess it was a mix.
Okay. And did you kind of have set hours for Barnes & Noble? I mean, did you work pretty regular type shifts?
Sort of. It would be one of two. I'd either do an opening shift and then come home in the mid to late afternoon, or I would do a closing shift and come home, I guess, around 8 or 9.
So if you come home from mid to late afternoon, around about what time would that have been?
2 to 3-ish.
Okay. And did that pretty regularly? Okay. Was there ever a time when you were at work that you get a call from Jen or Corey or anything saying, hey, we've got an issue at home, anything like that?
Nothing.
Detectives use carefully ordered questions, starting with non-threatening, factual inquiries, and gradually moving towards sensitive topics. This allows the suspect to relax and build momentum toward more revealing answers. In Sarah's case, the detective began with daily routines and vehicle logistics before probing deeper relationship conflicts.
Nothing that you recall?
I don't think I ever had emergency calls like that, no.
Okay. Did you call off work a lot?
There were a couple of times when I did, when I just felt too emotionally drained, and I just needed a day to myself. I tried not to do that too often, because I know it puts pressure on my boss.
Sure.
But I can think of a couple of times when I woke up and just the gravity of the situation hit me, and I called in and said, I just can't do it today.
Okay. So I'm going to go back to when you said that Emma or Ryan was kind of pleading with you to give him one last chance. And you said Corey wasn't home at the time, but it was just you and Jen. How did that go after, I guess, Corey got back home?
I'm trying. If I remember correctly, I think Corey came back after Ryan had already left. I don't remember where he was, but I do remember that he came back, asked where Ryan was, and if he had left, and I said yes, and then that was the end of the conversation.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure Corey was gone during most of that.
Okay. I forget anything right now?
I'm Rick again. So when you said you had this conversation with Ryan about him leaving, and Corey was not present, you said it was a private conversation, right? How long, like, after that did he take off? Like, was it that evening?
Oh no, I think it was at least a day.
A day? Okay.
From what I remember, Corey, I guess, gave him the ultimatum, or the conversation that he had to leave, and then that happened.
Detectives often revisit critical details using different wording. This helps uncover contradictions and ensures the suspect's attention remains on important facts. Reframing questions about Ryan's car, movement, and interactions encourages Sarah to clarify events repeatedly, strengthening the investigative record.
At some point without me knowing, and then Corey left, and then I guess it was that either that same day or a couple days after was when I had that conversation with Ryan.
So Corey had a conversation prior to your conversation with Ryan? Okay. So Ryan already knew it was kind of coming? Okay.
And that was part of the pleading and the upset that he had.
Now, did you in the process of this, of talking to Ryan and you saying him pleading, did you have communication with Corey saying, hey, this is what he's saying? Are we, so you didn't relay any of this to Corey?
I may have tried to text him, but I don't think I got a response back.
Okay. So tell me about the day, what you can recall about when Ryan left. You said that he met up with somebody. So try to go into a little bit more detail about that. Just was it in the morning, afternoon, evening?
It was the late afternoon, early evening. Because I remember Jen and I were in the kitchen having coffee or wine or something. We were sitting at the kitchen table, and Ryan came downstairs with his bag and sat at the table with us for a little bit. We didn't really talk. We kind of awkwardly had chit-chat. And then a car pulled up in front of the apartment. And then he said goodbye and left without any fuss. I don't know. I think it was a man driving the vehicle.
So you looked outside?
Yeah, to see what it was.
Tell me more about the car.
That's a part that I can't remember. I know it was might have been green, maybe. But like I said, I can't.
Sure.
I don't know what the make was.
Okay.
It was a 4-door green vehicle.
And when did you realize, how long after that did you realize that Ryan's car was still parked there?
The detectives broke down the interrogation into manageable questions, prompting Sarah to reveal small, sequential pieces of information. This method reflects the foot-in-the-door technique, where gaining agreement on minor issues increases compliance on larger, more critical matters.
I guess I didn't really think about it until the next day when it was still there.
Is that when you drove it?
Mm-hmm.
The next day?
Or the day after, something like that.
Okay. So you said to Megan here that Ryan never came back and got his car.
Right.
Okay. How do you know that?
I guess I mean, when the car disappeared, he might have come back to get it, but I never witnessed him come back to get the car.
I see. Okay. I'm going to go back a little bit, okay? So you move into this apartment in Columbus, the one we're talking about, where Ryan moved in. So when you moved in there, was it you, Corey, and Jennifer?
No, it was just Corey and I.
Okay. When does Jennifer come into the picture?
Shortly after, I guess I shouldn't say shortly, but sometime after Brian did. She was kind of my coping mechanism for the whole relationship fiasco.
Okay, so it's you and Corey. Ryan comes into the picture, and then Jennifer comes into the picture. So tell me about your relationship with Jennifer. How did it begin? Where did you meet her?
We actually met on Craigslist as just movie buddies.
Okay.
So it started out as just a friendship, and it stayed more as a friendship, but became more intimate. So she kind of became my support during that time.
When did it start to evolve into more of a intimate relationship?
Probably around the time that Corey started staying out more, participating in his groups.
So, can Can you give any type of time frame? So let me, this may be easier for you. When did you move into that apartment in Columbus, the last one you were at, when Ryan lived with you?
I think it was somewhere between December to February of maybe 2014, 15.
So maybe December 14 to February.
I do remember that it was after Christmas, or
Okay.
it might have been after Christmas. It was cold.
Were you there over a year?
Yes.
Okay. And then do you remember at what time frame during this period that Ryan comes into the picture?
Maybe March or April. I know it was starting to turn into spring, so somewhere in that range.
By asking for detailed accounts of sequences, timing, or routines, detectives increase cognitive demands on a suspect. Maintaining accuracy under pressure is challenging, which often causes slips or inadvertent revelations. The repeated questions about vehicle use, times, and locations serve this purpose.
Okay, and you said Jennifer. I'm going to refer to her as Jennifer. It was something different at the time. She had you referred to her as some Naira or
Naira.
Naira. I'm sorry. So you said that she didn't want anything to do with Ryan and did not like him. So what conversations would you have with Jennifer about Ryan?
Well, I know that she did not like the circumstances with which he came to stay. And she didn't really like him as a person.
When you said she didn't like the circumstances when he came, but she came afterward.
I've told her about it. And she was there to witness the fallout of the whole reason that he came.
Tell me about the fallout.
I didn't really like being around Corey anymore. I kind of limited our conversations to, it's like, when do you need me to drop you off? What time should I pick you up? Just basic things like that, nothing personal. And I was very, very depressed and anxious because of it.
Okay. So the a day or two after Ryan leaves, you take his car, and you said you had no problem starting it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was it parked in the parking lot?
Mm-hmm.
And you said it had license plates on it, otherwise you wouldn't be driving it, right?
Right.
Okay. And you drove it to the gas station because it needed gas,
Mm-hmm.
and then you couldn't get it started.
Right.
Okay. So then you got a tow truck,
Mm-hmm.
and it dropped it off on the side street. Tell me a little bit about that. Why you had a car of your own,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you said that you thought it would be fun to drive somebody else's car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how long after that did you realize it was gone?
I think it took me a few days because I don't really look over
Mm-hmm.
at that area.
But you don't believe Ryan came back and got it, or you didn't know?
I honestly don't know.
Because you said earlier that you didn't believe, you said Ryan didn't come back to get his car.
Interrogators gently draw attention to inconsistencies or gaps in the suspect's story without being confrontational. By comparing statements or highlighting overlooked details, the detective prompts self-reflection, increasing the suspect's willingness to clarify or admit details.
I don't
Okay.
think the only way that he could have come back to get the car is if he did it when I was gone and then Corey was there so he could get his keys.
Now, that's another question. To explain the key ring to me. So you find it odd that Ryan now is leaving for good, right? He's leaving for good, and he would leave his car keys behind.
That's why I thought he was going to come back for the car, because I did think it was a little weird.
What did Corey say about it?
I can't remember. Something to the effect of good riddance, I think.
So you,
Yeah, once Ryan left, he was kind of out of Corey's head, so we didn't really talk about it afterwards.
you mentioned if he came back, he would have had to come maybe when Corey was home or something to get the keys. So you brought the keys back in with you then after the tow truck parked it? Okay. Put them on like the kitchen counter or something?
Probably, or the...
I didn't know if you had a certain spot that you always kept. I know I always
usually just put them on the table.
Okay. And Corey didn't question anything after he got home and Ryan was gone. I mean, he, like you said, kind of just cleared him from his mind and moved on.
I mean, he may have had questions, but he wouldn't really talk to them or talk to me about them anymore. And like I said, at that point, it was more of a business relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever talk to Corey about, hey, he left his car here and I have the car keys? That never came up?
You drove Ryan's car. Had he ever driven your car or ridden in your car or anything like that?
He had ridden in the car to go to like the grocery or something.
Okay. Like front seat, back seat, something like that?
Back seat, probably.
Okay.
Who would do the grocery shopping?
Typically me.
Would everybody pack up in the car and go, or would it just be you alone, or you and Jennifer? Or?
A bit of both. If everybody needed something, everybody would go. If we just needed a few things, I would write them down and go myself.
Would Ryan ever chip in?
I remember he was responsible for paying for his own food. So if he needed food, it would be one of the days when everybody would go.
I see. Would he regularly buy food?
Yeah, I guess semi-regularly, maybe.
Detectives often pause after a suspect responds, creating a moment of tension. Silence encourages the suspect to fill the void with additional information, often providing insights they wouldn't voluntarily share. In the transcript, subtle pauses after Sarah's responses could have prompted further elaboration about her emotional state or Ryan's behavior.
Like what would he?
Once a week.
What would he buy?
Crackers, ramen.
Would he cook a lot?
No, he never cooked.
Never cooked?
I know that Corey would sometimes make communal meals for everybody.
I get it.
If Ryan did any cooking, it was usually just for himself. He never did anything for everyone.
I see. So would he go to the store by himself, or would you go with him, or would him and Corey go, or?
Possibly. I mean, he had his car, so he would leave on his own sometimes.
But for the most part, what would you say? He goes and gets his own stuff for the most part?
That was part of the agreement that, I mean, it wasn't a charity. He would need to take care of himself.
Right.
And
you said the stipulation was that he can come live here, but within 3 months, he has to find a place of his own, right? Mm-hmm. Was he chipping in on rent?
Yes.
Okay. Was Jennifer chipping in on rent?
Yes.
Did she work?
No.
Okay. She just had money?
Yeah, she had savings and...
I see.
She wasn't technically living at the residence because she did have her own. She stayed with her sister and some friends, but she liked staying with me because it was a little quieter.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Did you ever meet Jennifer's family? No. Is she from?
I've met her mother and sister.
Where are they from?
Massachusetts.
Okay. Okay.
But I never met.
Did your mom ever come visit the apartment?
At least once, I think, for Thanksgiving.
How many times would you say you'd go visit your mom while you lived in that apartment?
Probably at least twice, usually once during the summer and then for Christmas.
Okay. Nothing in between?
Not usually, no.
Okay. Do you ever remember Ryan getting hurt somehow, like in the kitchen or something, where he cut himself or anything like that would have in the apartment?
No.
How about you or Corey or Jen? I mean, was there any type of accident?
There's never any kind of violence, no.
Not violence. I'm talking accidents. Like, do you ever remember an incident where somebody may have cut themselves and had to wrap it up? And
not that I can recall. The only kinds of accidents I can think of was, I know one time he accidentally shut the fridge door on the, we had iced tea, and shut the door on the nozzle so that the whole thing came out. But nothing that I can recall that would leave any kind of physical mark.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Would he, Ryan, would he ever give you his debit card and say, pick me up something?
No.
Never?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Instead of asking directly about culpability, detectives frame questions around choices and alternatives, making the suspect feel they are simply explaining themselves. For instance, asking Sarah what options Ryan had when leaving the house frames her as recounting events rather than defending herself.
So you never used his debit card?
Would he ever give it to Corey or Jen or anything if he didn't want to run out?
Not that I know.
Nothing like that.
Yeah, not that I can recall.
Sure.
Would he ever ask to use like your phone or anything?
Not my phone, no.
Okay, but you mentioned Corey maybe gave him a laptop to borrow
we
or
had
something.
an old laptop. That I think that was his primary form of communication.
Okay.
It's his friends,
Mm-hmm.
family.
So I guess going along with that, you had your own devices, Corey had his. Did Jen bring along her own type of devices, her phone, computer, that kind of stuff?
She had a phone and a computer.
Okay. And she had her own accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Would Corey have access to any of your accounts, your Google, your Facebook,
we had a shared bank account, but I had that changed.
Okay.
Other than that, we had our own separate accounts for things.
Okay. The email, that kind of stuff.
Separate.
Okay. And they wouldn't access it or anything like that? Okay. Okay.
You want to go out for a sec?
Yeah.
Can you give us a minute?
Do you have plenty of water? Do you need a refill?
Yeah.
If I could get a refill.
I sure will. I can do that. Be right back with that, okay?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's some more water. Sarah, I don't know if you know this or not, probably not, but you're talking to Jennifer right now, talking to your mom, and also talking to Corey in Columbus.
No, he was
Okay.
here.
He's not here, he's in Columbus.
Oh, okay.
So, and there's major inconsistencies about this with your involvement with Ryan. And you know Ryan is now deceased.
He is?
He's been murdered. And so we have Corey is talking to the Columbus police detectives right now. We just get off the phone with them. So we need to know, I need to know, like, really what happened here. I mean, this is a bad situation. We really need to know what happened.
The detectives subtly referenced Corey's cooperation with police and communications with his mother in Columbus. By implying that other involved parties were talking and sharing information, they created a form of indirect social pressure. With the car, we have DNA evidence. We're able to track down your car, the one that you used to own, the time of this incident. We were able to track down the current owner, and we're able to examine it. So we have something happened in that apartment over this weekend that we're talking about, which is the weekend that you recall, the weekend that you dropped Corey off with that girl in Columbus. Do you remember that?
I remember it was a weekend.
Yeah, it was a weekend. And so we have major problem here, okay? And something terrible happened, and we just need to know how it happened. It's not necessarily, it could have been something that just happened, but there's only a few people who know the truth. Corey's talking and gave us a bunch of details. It's not fair to me to go into those details with you, what he's telling me, because it's only fair that I hear from you, okay? So you're going to have to tell me your version of this, and to see if it matches up with the evidence we have, because something is terribly wrong here. So please, just all I do is ask you is please just tell me the truth. What terribly wrong? Sarah, what went wrong? Something went wrong. What happened? Did he try to hurt himself? What? Tell me what happened. Something happened and somebody panicked. So please just tell me the truth. What happened? Corey's given a whole nother version of what you just said. Please tell me the truth.
I'm not comfortable talking about
Well,
this.
we have a young.
Was it an accident?
Yeah,
I don't know what was an accident.
with Ryan.
I didn't even know that he was dead.
Sarah, come on. Sarah,
Is there
please.
someone that I can talk to?
Well, you can talk to us. I just want the truth. I don't think that's.
We don't think this was a planned.
Detectives subtly introduced evidence, such as DNA findings and Google search history, without immediately confronting her.
Thing. Okay, we think something just went terribly wrong. Okay, maybe got a little out of hand. And it happened. Okay.
I mean, Sarah, you have been arrested for a reason.
I thought I was arrested for theft.
No, that's not true. I don't know who said that, but that's not true.
That's what the policeman said.
Yeah, well, they're from another state. They're helping us because you folks live here now. We're obviously from Ohio. I'm with the state police, basically. And all I'm asking of you, and you seem like you're a very intelligent person. I just want the truth, though. And these things are not adding up. And I don't want to see you, like everybody pointing at you. Not everybody, but a particular person is pointing at you, basically not wanting anything to do with it, saying it was somebody else. And again, it would be not ethical of me to tell you what Corey's saying, but I need to know what happened that over that weekend with him.
We always know there's two sides to every story.
Always.
So this is your opportunity to give your side, okay? Now's your chance to
Just the truth.
start from the beginning.
I don't want to say anything.
Why wouldn't you want to tell us the truth?
Was this all you?
I've said what I know.
But Sarah, that's not all you know. And we know that now. That's what we were out there doing. We planned this so that we could talk to everybody at the same time.
We even
Yes.
have some people in North Carolina right now talking to the young lady that Corey met. Okay, we have a lot of information.
Is there a lawyer I can talk to? That was my rights, right?
Well, that's your decision. We don't advise on that. But all we're asking is for the truth.
I don't know what to say.
The truth, maybe?
I've said what I remember.
And you're telling me that's the truth.
That's what I remember.
This is going to be your only time to talk to me and Megan. After this, we're not allowed to help. So
And what happens to me after this?
you're going to be booked in the local county jail here.
Without overt threats, detectives remind suspects of the potential outcomes of withholding information, guiding them toward cooperation. The careful phrasing of questions around Ryan's disappearance and household event signals that full disclosure may help clarify the situation.
This is from your Google account. Okay, these are your searches on your Google account that you said you only had access to. So flip through these pages.
Yeah, look through all the
and
force.
take a gander at that. So we know there's two sides to every story. Right? I mean, do you believe that also?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So do you want us to only have the other few sides, or do you want to tell us your side? Okay. Sarah, look at me. I think you want to tell us the truth. Look at me. You're the type of person I think that you are an honest person. Are you not?
I try to be.
Okay. We're just asking for the truth. And if was this something that was planned? That happened? Or was this just, oh my gosh, holy cow, this happened and now this is where we're at? Is this, you didn't plan this. Look at me, is that correct? Just tell me what happened. I just want to hear it from you. I don't want to just have everything from everybody else.
What's gonna happen to my family?
Well, we'll talk to your family, okay? And you'll get to talk to your family, okay? We can work through this. One thing at a time. This is the first step. Okay, look at me.
I'm scared.
Okay, I understand you're scared. Okay,
All I've ever gotten was a speeding ticket. And
you're an honest person. Okay, I don't think you're a bad person at all.
Sarah, let us help you. Just tell us.
I don't want to go to jail
Okay,
or
well,
anything.
okay, and I'm just being honest here. That's just a step in the process. That doesn't mean you're gonna stay there. Okay, you're gonna have a court date, that kind of stuff, okay? We just need to hear it from you. And we can pass along. We can't make any promises, just like we read earlier. We can't make any promises, nothing like that. But we can pass your cooperation along. Okay? Look at me. Go ahead and start from the beginning, okay?
It was an accident.
Okay. It was an accident. Accidents happen every day. So what happened? And I'm a little hard of hearing, so I'm sorry. get angry too.
And I knocked him down when he came out of the bathroom. And I choked him. And then I didn't know what to do. I've never done anything like that.
Investigators appealed to Sarah's sense of honesty and moral obligation, framing the confession as the right thing to do and reassuring her she was not inherently bad.
And I got scared. I didn't know what to do.
We're scared.
I realized I ruined my life.
So what do you, I guess, tell me more about you knocked him down.
He was coming out of the bathroom and I came up behind him and I put him in a chokehold and knocked him down.
Did he pass out? Were there words exchanged?
He passed out.
Okay. So,
And I didn't let go.
mm-hmm.
And then it was too late.
Tell me more about too late.
He stopped moving.
Could you tell if he stopped breathing?
He started turning white. And I couldn't go near him.
Because you were scared. Who was all home at the time?
Just Jen.
Jen and you and Ryan? Where was Jen at the time?
She was downstairs.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
She was downstairs.
She was downstairs. Okay. What was she doing, or did she hear the
She
scuffle?
heard a commotion.
Okay.
Came up. And she helped calm me down. And then we had to figure out what to do.
And you just spoke about that, or I guess what was decided? Obviously, we know what happened, okay? You're not telling us something we don't know. And I get it's probably hard to talk about. Okay, but these are the details that we need to hear from you. That way, it's not from somebody else.
I had to figure out how to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. So what happened?
And we cut it up.
We being you and Jen? Was this when Corey was away at the hotel? Okay. So where did you cut him up at? Bathtub? What did you use?
Some kind of salt.
Where did that come from?
I found it in the shed.
So you each have your own shed there? Okay.
Questions were repeated in different ways to prompt memory recall and confirm statements. This tactic leverages schema theory, where repeated cues activate existing memory frameworks and increase the likelihood of truthful recall.
Who did the cutting?
Mostly me.
And what was Jen doing?
Taking care of other stuff like clothes.
Ryan's belongings? Okay. What was she doing with his clothes?
In bags.
Okay. And placing them somewhere, or?
Just for us to get rid of later.
Okay. So you were cutting him up. This probably made things obviously uncomfortable, but when you were cutting him up, where did you put like the limbs and things?
Bags.
Kind of like the ones we showed you? The blue tape. Did you see that blue tape? Would that have been your tape at home, or did you guys go buy that?
I actually don't recognize the tape.
You don't recognize the tape? Okay. What color bags, I guess, did you put him in? Did he fit in a couple bags or have to do...
I know there were a lot of bags.
Okay. And where did you cut him at? And again, this is all stuff I already know. Okay, I just need to hear it straight from you.
The joints.
Joints? Can you point to I guess what you mean by joints?
Elbows.
The elbows.
The wrists, ankles,
Mm-hmm.
knees.
And then up here?
Mhm.
And then neck. Okay. So, you get him all cut up. Does Jen help cut him up?
Not really. She wasn't feeling well. She got kind of sick.
Okay.
So I took over most of it.
But did she help a little bit at the beginning? Okay.
We were both really scared.
Sure. So, you got him cut up, then what happens?
We have to figure out where to put everything.
So where did you say you put his belongings? Where did those go? Like his clothes and his...
Just in one of the bags.
Okay, and where did those...
We put those in a bin.
Like a dumpster?
No, like a Tupperware bin.
Oh, okay. And where did that go?
In the back of his car.
Okay.
We were going to drive the car somewhere
Mm-hmm.
and leave it, but the car wouldn't start.
So I was searching, trying to figure it out, right? And then how did we get it to move?
We had to take the car back with the tow truck.
So you called a tow truck? Okay. To come to your apartment?
No, to come to the gas station.
To come to the gas station.
And took the car back, left it on the side, and then we moved the bin to my car.
The bin of his items or of him?
Everything.
Okay.
And we started driving and trying to get rid of little things at a time.
On the road, or is there special spots?
In public dumpsters.
So did you dispose of like his limbs in different spots?
Throughout the interrogation, detectives reference discrepancies between Sarah's account and evidence or Corey's statements. This technique is informed by anxiety arousal theory, which suggests that anxiety increases attention to detail and can motivate behavioral change.
Do you know where those spots are?
We just stopped wherever something looked okay.
Or it seemed like secluded or something like that?
Couple gas stations. Mostly just public dumpsters. I really don't know.
Do you recall stopping along okay, so you're driving. Do you drive to a final destination at some point? Where is that at?
It wasn't planned. I kept falling asleep.
Sure. So where do you drive to?
Selena.
Salina, Ohio? Okay. And that's in Mercer County? Do you know that?
I don't
Okay.
know what the county is.
Are you familiar with Salina? Would you travel through that way? Did you recognize it before traveling? Okay. So you get to Salina. And then what happens?
We dumped everything. We dumped the main body.
Okay.
Because I was so tired.
And you dumped it where? Yes.
Some woods.
Some woods. Okay. Had you already dumped some of the rest of the body?
That was all we had left.
Okay.
Just the main body.
Okay. Do you recall where you dumped the other parts of the body? Possibly in dumpsters at gas stations? Did you stop at any other woods or creeks or anything? Okay. Did you plug this in your phone? Like a GPS type thing?
I just
started driving.
I don't remember. Okay. I just know that we started driving.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we wanted to maybe end up in Illinois.
Just like, do you mind?
Yeah.
If they can Sorry, I'm so hard of hearing and I don't want to be rude and keep telling you to speak louder, so. Oh, give him a second here. So you were driving, okay, and got to Salina, and I missed that last part. I'm sorry. You said you were driving.
We wanted to get to Illinois,
You wanted to get to Illinois
but I couldn't make it that far.
because you're tired. Okay. Why did you want to get to Illinois?
It's far away.
Okay. You just wanted to be away from everything. Okay. Did you, when you got to Salina and dumped it, was that everything that you had that was left? Otherwise, you had stopped at dumpsters on the way there?
Just whatever was on the route.
Okay. Where did you go instead of going to Illinois? You said you couldn't make it that far.
We stopped in Salina.
Did you stay somewhere?
Just turned around and started driving back.
Okay, so you returned back to Columbus then? Or did you go to Mom's or anything like that? No. Okay.
The detectives allowed Sarah to speak at her pace, offered breaks, and explained procedures, giving her a sense of autonomy. This reflects self-determination theory, which asserts that individuals are more likely to cooperate when they feel in control of their choices.
We didn't make it that far.
You're exhausted. Yeah. Okay. So where was Corey during this?
No idea.
No idea.
Or
Still at the hotel,
I
possibly?
guess so.
Okay. Any communication with him?
I shut off my phone.
Okay.
Why did you shut off your phone?
I was scared.
You get back to Columbus, then what happens?
Corey was waiting for us.
At the apartment? When you left to go, and made your way to Salina, did you clean up the bathroom before you left? Okay, how did you clean it up?
Vinegar, bleach.
Vinegar and bleach. Was it a mess? I mean, obviously something like that's probably not the cleanest.
Tried not to make a mess because I knew cleaning was going to be hard.
So it looked clean, at least, right? So when you got back, Corey was there. How did that go?
He was very angry with me for not answering the phone.
So he was trying to reach out to you. Okay. And you didn't know that because your phone was off. Okay, so how did that conversation go when you got back?
I didn't really want to talk to him, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I just said I was tired and I wanted to go to bed. I didn't want to talk about it.
Did he know something had happened?
I don't think so.
Was there a conversation after you got some rest about what happened?
I told him Ryan just left. And he didn't ask any questions.
Okay. Was there a prior conversation that Ryan had to leave? Like you mentioned earlier that, hey, this was part of a stipulation. Ryan needed a good job. He didn't, so Corey told him he had to leave. Was that?
That was
true?
correct.
Okay. So he probably just figured he left. Had you at any point told Corey what happened? So he shouldn't
He still
know.
doesn't know. I think he thinks that we were doing some kind of drug deal.
Corey does?
He doesn't know.
Okay. And he had nothing to do with it? He didn't say, hey, I'm going to go to the hotel for this weekend, take care of Ryan. Nothing like that. So what?
Well, he expected Ryan to be gone.
Because he had that conversation with them. Okay. Sorry, Rena.
Why were you so angry at him? What happened that you came up behind him and started joking?
He ruined my life.
Tell me a little bit about that.
I mean, I told you the arguments Corey and I had.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't make him see reason.
Was he coming out of the bathroom from the shower, or
from using the toilet?
what do you remember? Like, was that on Saturday? Was it on Sunday?
I honestly can't remember.
Okay.
But it's the same weekend that Corey was at the hotel.
Detectives repeatedly suggested that the incident got out of hand, rather than labeling it as premeditated. This aligns with attribution theory, which indicates people are more willing to admit to actions when they perceive them as situational rather than intentional.
Did Jen know that this was going to happen?
No. But she was there for me.
Sure, she's your support. You said that. That's what support people do. They're there for you.
I'm worried about what's going to happen to her.
I understand that.
We understand,
natural.
and we appreciate you talking to us openly. You know,
I feel like I shouldn't, though. I mean, don't they say you're not supposed to talk about this?
no, that's up to you. It's up to the individual.
You're a smart girl. Okay, we discovered that at the beginning when you told me you have a bachelor's, and did you say you had a master's?
Yeah, just a bachelor's.
It's not just a bachelor's. You should be proud of that.
I just don't know what to do because I thought I had my whole life ahead of me. And I made one mistake.
And that's exactly
And now
it.
now it's over. Don't
Cut yourself short.
I just turned 30 and I feel like that's
One step at a time. Okay? 1 foot in front of the other at a time here. Okay? Is there anything else that we haven't asked you that you feel like would be helpful to get off your chest?
Mostly I just have questions about what happens now.
Well, you're in Indiana. We're from Ohio. There's obviously different laws and legal things that need to be followed, so I can't just bring you back with me to Ohio to get right in court. Okay? So you will be booked into the jail here, and you'll have to go through a hearing to then get transferred over to Ohio.
How long do we have to be here?
As soon as they can get you into that court process. I don't know how quickly they move, but they would basically call and let them know that they've picked you up on a warrant for us, and then they would set that time and you go in front of the courts to get that process going. Okay, they don't like to keep you over here any longer than what they want to, because they don't have anything in this. Okay.
So is it going to be like a day, a week?
We'll find out for
Yeah,
you.
we'll try to find out for you. Okay.
And you said I can talk to my family.
They should be able to get you phone calls.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not sure on how their whole process works. Okay, so I'm not gonna try to tell you something that I am not sure on. But those are all things that even when you get over to the jail, even to ask them, you can make a phone call to mom or whomever, and go from there.
Is there any kind of bail, or am I going to have to stay there the whole time?
There's not bail right now, but that's not to say that there won't be bail in the future. Okay? Just not right at the present time. Any other questions?
I'm sure I do.
We'll come back in.
Yeah, we'll
come
give you a
back
few
in.
minutes, okay?
What do I do about a lawyer?
That's up to you if you're wanting to reach out to a lawyer.
Shouldn't I have one?
We don't advise. We don't give legal advice. That's a decision you need to make.
Detectives implied they had corroborating information from other sources, such as Corey and witnesses. This draws on social influence theory, which highlights that people adjust behavior when they believe others are aware of their actions. During the interrogation, detectives methodically guided Sarah Buzzard to recount the events surrounding Ryan Zimmerman's death. Through strategic evidence presentation, rapport building, and careful questioning, they elicited detailed admissions of assault, panicked disposal of the body, and concealment of evidence. Legally, this confession provides direct evidence of both the act and the subsequent tampering, establishing a clear chain of criminal conduct. By documenting her statements voluntarily and corroborating them with physical evidence, the interrogation strengthens the prosecution's case, creating a robust foundation for conviction on charges including aggravated murder, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with evidence.
A Marion woman charged with a homicide that happened more than 5 years ago has been sentenced. Good afternoon, I'm Pat Hoffman.
And I'm Emily Dwyer. 30-year-old Sarah Buzzard was sentenced to life in prison for the death of 21-year-old Ryan Zimmerman.
In January 2022, Sarah Buzzard was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 30 years following her guilty plea to one count of aggravated murder in the death and dismemberment of 21-year-old Ryan Zimmerman. The plea deal allowed her to avoid the death penalty with all other charges dropped in exchange for her plea. Under the terms, she will be credited for approximately 149 days served in county jail, and if ultimately released, she will be on parole for a minimum of 5 years, potentially up to life, with violation risking reimposition of her sentence.
This investigation started in 2016 when a person walking a dog found human remains in Mercer County, Ohio. After further investigation, police identified the body as Zimmerman's. Mercer County investigators scoured social media over the last 14 months and spoke with sources in Kentucky and North Carolina to determine where Zimmerman was killed and where the potential suspects lived.
The judge, in handing down the sentence, highlighted the heinous nature of the crime and acknowledged that no sentence could undo the harm done, although the agreement was made in view of the legal process and plea negotiations.